like once you have gone through the basics, then the rhce one is not that much typical. You can go by it very easily.
Okay.
So let's create a OneNote.
So what time are you now over there?
It's 6:45.
6:45 p.m.
It's almost like I think from 8 to 8, around 10 and 10 hour and half, 10 and half hour difference.
Okay, yeah, 10 hour. Okay, 10 hour. Wow, God is wonderful.
Let me open it on the desktop. Okay, then. Okay, so let's start with the Ansible part. So mainly, what do you know about Ansible other than the
Automation.
automation? Yes.
I
Other
mean,
than that,
it's okay for, it's used for troubleshooting. It's a read out tools for troubleshooting as well, to learn, to gather information about devices. So from the information pool, you can check all the files and then be able to troubleshoot whatever is having problem. And also to deploy firmware images to devices in multiple. That's all I know about Ansible.
so
And also it's agentless.
right, the main part is the
Yeah.
agentless option. So it is an automation tool, automation engine. And we can deploy by using this Ansible. Deployment features are available. Provides us orchestration of our whole environment. Okay. Agentless. We don't need to install anything on the machines on which we want to manage.
Right. So the orchestrations, what is it? What do you mean by that?
Orchestration, like from if you want to build your infrastructure from scratch, once you have like connected the systems and you want to deploy everything from scratch, you need to install the package, you want to start the service, you want to put some content. So you're orchestrating your whole environment from scratch.
Okay.
And next is mainly, you can say, in DevOps, if you go for DevOps, where you need to create pipelines and all those, so this is used. So it is also called language.
So are you going to teach anything about pipeline in this?
No. We will only be talking about like, and the mainly for the automation part, how to create the playbooks and everything.
Okay.
So other than this, as we know that it is agentless, the machines that we can manage will differ, because if you want to manage a Linux operating system, you can do that. If you want to manage a Windows operating system, that is also possible. If you want to manage your Unix or printer networking devices. Routers, if you want to manage multiple routers, you want to create loopback interfaces, or you want to assign IP on multiple interfaces. So it can be assigned by this. Okay. Managed host. So two entities will be there. One is the machine by which we will manage the rest, and the other will be the machines that we want to manage. So this is the machine where Ansible needs to be installed, and this will be called your control node, from which we are controlling the rest of the machines.
Okay.
And the machines that we want to manage will be called managed host. And that could be a Windows operating system, a Linux operating system, a Unix operating system, or your internet working device. So Linux networking devices. Two and three. So we need to install Ansible on control node. So here Ansible will be installed, and with Ansible, Python will be installed if it is already not there. Okay. And the control node machine should be a Linux operating system.
It must be Linux operating system.
So the only thing that this Ansible needs on the managed host side is that Python should be there in the systems. We see nowadays in Windows, we have PowerShell, which works with Python. In Linux, Python is already there. Okay, so we don't need to specifically install Python on the managed host. It will already be there. As for the internet working devices, there we use netconf modules for the connections. For Linux, we use SSH. And for Windows machine, we use HTTP or HTTPS. Okay. After this, now we want to manage the things on the managed host. We want to install packages, we want to remove some packages, start service, stop service, and everything. And we don't want to go on the managed host manually. Okay. Like before Ansible, automation was possible. Before that, we used scripting, or multiple engines were there, Puppet, Chef, Salt Stack, and Minion. Okay. So multiple engines were there which were used before Ansible as well. But the main advantage of Ansible is that here we don't have to install any kind of agent on the remote machine where we want to manage it. Then on the control node, from where we want to manage the machines, first we install the Ansible package. And once we install the package, there will be Ansible modules which will be available, and those modules will be written in Python.
Okay.
Ansible modules will get, and we will be using these modules to perform the task on the managed host. Okay.
Okay.
So we also say this Ansible, the programs, or you can say the playbook that will be written here will be written in human readable language.
Right. Is it like a JSON language?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Key value pairs will be there. Okay, some keys there, and we need to write the value. So the key will be same for most of the modules. We just need to use the key and provide the value whatever we want, depending on the use case. Okay. So just a sec. So now we want to manage these machines. Let's say these machines have IP address assigned on them. If you are managing them privately, then they should be in same network, or there should be connectivity with the help of a router or anything. Okay. If you want to manage a public machine, then public IP should be there.
The public IP, okay. Oh, okay. I see where the problem is. Okay. Unless you want to manage it internally, right?
If you want, yeah, if you want to manage it internally, then private will be used.
It will be used, right?
3.13 and 14, and let's say our control node have 192.168.43.10. So now we need to create a file on this control node. That file will be called inventory. You can change the name, or you can put the name whatever you want, but the file will be called inventory, and it stores the information, the IP addresses of managed host. Okay. The IP of those machines on which you want to perform the task, the machines you want to manage.
Can you quickly give me 4 minutes, please? Can you give me 4 minutes? I want to try to get my daughter. Yeah, just 4 minutes. I'll be back right now.
Okay.
I'll be back 4 minutes, please.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, I'm with you. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so yeah. So here we created the inventory file where the entries for the machines IPs will be stored, which we want to manage. Okay. Other than this, if you want to perform a single task on any of the machines or all of the machines, you will be using the module, the Ansible module that will be provided by the package. You will be using that module directly. But if you want to perform multiple tasks at the same time, then you need to write those modules in a file, and that file will be called Ansible playbook. Okay. So let's go on our Linux system and configure a control node.
Okay.
So you need at least two machines, two Linux machines to do the practicals of this Ansible. If you have more than two, that will be better, but at least two machines should be there. Let's start this machine first. Do you have an AWS account?
US account?
AWS.
Yes, I have. But it's been a long time I opened it, but yeah, I have it. Yes, I have it.
So if you want to do the practical on AWS, that is also possible. You just need to create Linux instance there, and you can use.
Okay. Okay.
So the machine is started, and we just need to install the package of Ansible. So yum install Ansible. So we got an error here that the repo is not configured. Okay. So we need to configure a repository first, then we will be able to install the package. And we need to configure two repositories actually. One for the local repository, one the local, and another one is EPEL repository. Okay. So let's check the ISO. It is not connected here. Let's connect it first. From rel, here it is, removable devices, CD, DVD, and connect. Now if we do lsblk, the ISO has been connected. Okay. So we need to create a local rep.
I'm not seeing my.
Hmm?
I'm not seeing mine at all. Okay, let me open this other one.
Yeah.
I cloned the machine. I cloned two machines. So if one is not working, I just go to the other one. I don't want to waste time on that. Yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay. So let's create a repository here. The path is this one, so let's copy it. We need to create the repo in etc yum.repos.d, and the repo name could be anything.
All right.
Then the first is the token ID. So we are creating two repos. So let's say first one is base, in which base URL is file:// then paste the path, and on the CD we have a directory base OS. So one location is this, from where the package needs to be fetched. Then gpg check equals 0, enabled equals 1. And another one, base URL file:// again paste the path and app stream. Then gpg check equals 0 and enabled equals 1, and save the file. And we need to run the command yum repo list all. So the repo has been configured, and then if we try to install it now, Ansible -y, we will still get an error that the package is not available.
Exactly. Yeah, just that's I was thinking, if that's possible, definitely what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. So here it
Yeah,
is.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
So now we need to configure the EPEL repository.
Okay.
Okay. So for EPEL, let's just go to the browser and get the link from there. EPEL repo L8.
So that you have to go for the distro that we are looking for.
Yes. So we'll directly be able to get the package. Like if you are working on CentOS, then
Mm,
you can directly run the command yum install EPEL release if you are working on CentOS. But if you are working on Linux, this Red Hat,
Red Hat.
you need to use this
You have
link.
to go for the version number of the OS you are running.
Right. So here is the link. Just copy this, either copy the whole link or just copy this from HTTPS.
And this yum.
Yeah. Then yum install, paste the link, enter. So here it is asking us whether you want to install. So yes, enter. And once the repo has been configured, then we'll start the installation again. So let's see. Now the repo has been configured.
Mhm.
If we try to install Ansible again, this time it will start downloading the package and start installing it.
Okay.
Wait for it to be installed. Okay, so it has been installed now.
Mm.
So if we want, we will be able to check the commands regarding this. So Ansible, press double tab and multiple commands are there. Okay.
Mm.
And first is if we want to check the version. So Ansible space hyphen hyphen version. So it is showing us Python 3.6.8 it is using. Ansible version is 2.9.27.
So Ansible comes with Python package.
Yeah, because it is using the modules which are written in Python.
Okay.
So next is just under the Ansible version, we have the next file that is next line that is showing us the configuration file. Okay. So the other thing is we need to check is the configuration. It is available in etc Ansible ansible.cfg.
1 minute, please. So I'm trying to mount the my CD drive. It's
Mm-hmm.
giving me this error saying I cannot connect the virtual device SATA 0 1 because no corresponding device available on the host.
Yeah, can you share your screen?
See that? Can you see now?
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's visible.
So I do like this. Close it. Right click this. Removable CD, right?
Yes.
And connect. This cannot connect. And it's mounted on my drive. It's right there.
Close this and go to the settings of that machine.
Okay. Settings.
In that, check the CD DVD option in hardware. In hardware,
Hardware.
CD DVD. Yeah,
Oh,
here
okay.
select yes.
That's right. Okay. Oh, where's that? Where is that guy? Yes. Okay. Okay, that's right. All right. And let's be. Okay, it's right here. All
Yeah.
right, got it. Now let's go. You can go ahead.
Okay, and yeah, nothing visible.
Yeah, I can see. All right.
Okay. So now we need to check the configuration file, the Ansible CFG. If we go to that location in etc Ansible, so three content is there. First one is ansible.cfg. Next one is host, and the third one is roles. Okay, so the ansible.cfg is the main configuration of Ansible in your system. This host file stores the information of the managed host, the file, the inventory file which we talked about. Okay,
Mm.
so this is the inventory file, and if we open this ansible.cfg, so all the configurations and everything is available there.
So
First is
if you
yeah.
configure the okay, the inventory is okay. So if you configure the inventory file in a local location, let's say my home directory, it
Mhm.
overrides whatever is in the Etsy. Is that correct?
Okay, pardon, can you repeat again?
Let's say I configure my inventory file in my local directory, which is my home directory. So
Right.
anything in the Etsy Ansible host, the one local is it overrides the one in Etsy, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, like this, if we have configured here, the path we have changed and put the path of the local inventory that we created, then it will
Mm,
use the local inventory. Otherwise, it will keep on using this one.
right.
So mainly whenever we are like working with Ansible, so we will not be using the main configuration file and the main inventory file. We will be
Oh,
creating our
you'll
own
be
configuration.
great. Okay.
Right. Okay, so here we are just for like when we do the installation, when we don't we haven't done that much work here. In that case, we can also use the default one.
Okay.
So the first parameter is inventory. Other than that, you also need to check this parameter sudo user, ask password, whether the machine should ask you for a password when you are trying to connect to the remote machine. Okay.
Mm.
Then remote port is there. Similarly, one more parameter should be here. That should be remote user. Let's check. Where is it? Here it is. So by default, the remote user is set as root. Okay. If you want to change the remote user, you can also change the remote user as well. So for now, let's leave it as it is. And let's start another machine which we want to take as the manage host.
Okay.
So I don't have a Linux machine here. No worries. Let's go to AWS and create a machine from there.
Okay.
Yes. Sign in.
It's been a long time I opened my AWS.
Then you'll get the whole new console.
Yeah.
Like even 2 days ago, I opened that one, what we say, the billing page. So it was the old, you can say, page, but today when I opened AWS billing, so it was everything was new. So I was not able to like decide where to go.
You have to create a new one?
Hmm?
Do you have to create another account?
No, no, like I have created multiple accounts here because of the sessions. I have
Okay.
around 3 or 4 accounts, I think. Like, okay, let's go to EC2. And instances, launch. Let's deploy a Linux Red Hat instance. So select Red Hat, t2.micro, leave the settings as it is. Next, next, again next. Now let's provide a tag. Name is Ansible. As for the security group, we are allowing all traffic for now.
Okay.
From, let's use our IP address. Let's see whether it works. Review and launch. Select the key pair and launch instance. Let's copy the IP address, and first we need to configure some things here so that we can do the work with Ansible on the AWS machine.
SSH?
Yeah, because right now the SSH is key based and the
Right.
key is the one that was provided by AWS.
Right.
Okay, so either we provide the key every time we log in, or we can configure the key based authentication from our Linux machine to this AWS machine so that we can access it without any password.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's start it first. It's still deploying. Status check initializing. Let's check. IPv4 43 to 41. Let's check in the security group. Okay, it is similar. We got the access.
Mm.
So let's go to the configuration of SSH, etc SSH _ config with sudo. Vim command is not there. Let's install it first. Let's try to open the configuration file, and here we need to change some parameters. First one is password authentication, which is set as no. We need to enable it. Set it as
Yes.
file. Restart the service or reload the service. System CTL.
I thought we are using the key-based authentication, right?
Yeah, first we'll like do it without the key. We'll
Or
see
without?
how Ansible act when we don't use a key.
Okay. Okay.
System CTL reload SSHD, and let's set the password for root user. Password root, and I've set the password here. And let's also add a user add. swd admin. Now let's try to access the same machine from our Linux instance, the Linux server, the control room.
The control room.
Okay, so ping is going, and if we do SSH root @ yes, give the password. Okay, we are able to access it. Okay.
Mm.
We are able to access it directly. We are able to check the connectivity by using the ping command. But we don't want to check the connectivity with ping command. We want to check the connectivity from Ansible, whether it is able to connect it.
Right.
So we are gonna do, we want to run a module, an Ansible module. So Ansible -m for module, and we want to use a module, and the module name is ping, and we need to provide the name of the, either you can use the group name or the host name of your remote instance. Okay, so right now we haven't configured that part. So first, what we need to do, we need to open the inventory file. Okay, and in the inventory file, we need to make the entry for the AWS server, the managed host. You can either use the domain name, the host name of that machine, or the IP address of that machine. If you want to use it directly, that is possible. If you want to create a group of multiple servers, you can provide the group name and then provide the IP addresses in that group. Okay. So for now, let's just write the IP address. So copy IP again, paste it here, save the file, and now let's use the module
It has to
Ansible.
be on the web server.
Hmm?
Can you put it back to the host again? You put it on below the web server.
No, right now these are like
Collection of hosts. Okay, got it. Okay, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I get what it.
so Ansible-m for module. We want to use ping module on all the machines in the inventory. Okay. If we press enter, we got the error. And it is the same error that we get when the key-based authentication is not done and password authentication is blocked. But what is happening here? If we open the main configuration file, ansible.cfg.
So is password blocked from Ansible by
Yes.
default?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we need to change that parameter in the configuration file. So vim ansible.cfg. And here, if we go to the top, here is the parameter ask pass. We need to uncomment this. Save the file. Try to do Ansible-m ping on all. This time it is asking for SSH password of the remote machine. If we give the password, the module will go there and we got the success here that it was able to connect. This is also an advantage of Ansible that it tells us in multiple colors whether it is whether the task failed or passed, or in some cases the task changed something on the system, so it will be yellow.
Okay.
So unlike if we want to fetch details from a machine, from a Linux machine, we can use scripting for that. Okay, but scripting will only fetch the details on the server. Sometimes it might fail. So if you are running the script on multiple servers, it will not tell you that on which server it failed, on which server it properly worked. But in Ansible, it will tell you everything. If you have 10 servers and out of those 10, 2 servers were not available, it will tell you that the servers were not available. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go with the next one. Yeah. If we want to check, okay, not that one. First, we want to do what? Disable this password. We want to access the remote machine, the manage host directly. We want to do key-based
without
authentication.
in the password.
Yes, because if you have like 10 servers and you want to work on those 10 servers, so the password should be same on those 10 servers. And that is not recommended to set same password for 10 servers. Okay. So we will do key-based authentication here between the control node and the manage host. So let's configure the key ssh-keygen. The key has been generated. Then ssh-copy ID on root @ IP address 15.207.19.731. Give the password. The key has been added. Okay. And now in the configuration file of Ansible, we will change the parameter again. We will again comment that line, the ask pass line. Now save the file. Before we got an error, but this time Ansible-m ping on all. So without any password, it will work.
Okay. So what about if you have multiple device, you want to push to multiple multiple nodes?
Then you need to configure key-based authentication in all of those modes. If
So
you
is there a way to push? Is there a way to push?
hmm?
Is there a way to push the key into all of them at once?
For that, I think a module should be there. Let's check.
Okay.
Ansible -doc. If you want to like list all the modules, check all the modules. This command is there, Ansible doc space -l. So it will list all the modules which are available. Just give me a minute. हाँ भाई, फर्स्ट क्लास में बैठा है. हाँ, करता हूँ. So here let's look for SSH. Not this one. Next. Manage SSH on CloudWatch. Not this one as well. Not this. OpenSSH keep here. Generate OpenSSH public private. Keep here. And let's okay. So if we found a module that we want to check the details of, just copy the name of the module.
Right.
Then Ansible -doc and then paste the name. So this time, instead of -l, we will directly provide the name of the module. Press enter and it will open the details about that module, what that module will do.
Does okay. Allow one to generate
It and here are the attributes that we can use. Let's go to the bottom of this page and here are the examples. OpenSSH keep here and generate an OpenSSH default values. If it already exists. But it is only telling us the way to generate. We can directly generate it on our system. No worries there, but we want to send it.
Yeah, to send it to, yeah, exactly. Because I have multiple 10 clients that I'm thinking I'm trying to work on. Yeah.
SSH again. SSH key pair, packet SSH, SQL. Okay, generate hosts or certification.
Yeah.
Authorized keys.
Add or remove authorized key. Yeah, I think that should be it, I guess.
Ansible doc.
Key.
Add or remove SSH authorized keys for particular user accounts. Shift G to go to the bottom and examples are here. So set authorized keys taken from the file on user this state present and key is this one. Or set authorized key from the URL. But still we will need to provide an access, like we will need to take access for the first time. So
yeah, to those devices. Okay.
right. So we
But I'm
need
just thinking it's going to be taking too long. I mean, how long is it going to take you to log into all the devices one by one, to be able to push it or something like that? That's
no,
what I'm trying to find a very easy way to be able to do that.
if you are working on like cloud environment, then it will be easier because if you like want to deploy another server here, okay, while deploying the server, you can provide your script in the user data. Okay, so here you can provide the file which is available. If the file is on GitHub, you can just provide the link. That file will be downloaded and copied in the respective directory.
Oh, right, right.
Like I have an script here, but that will only enable the password authentication. Here it is. So this will configure EPEL repo, install Ansible if you want. So we don't want to install Ansible. We will just let's copy it first. Control C and paste here. Is that we don't want to configure the EPEL repo. Let's remove that. We don't want to install the Ansible package because we are not using it as
Ansible, yeah,
right.
control node.
Here we have used sed command sed-i.
FI, yeah, to
So
replace.
right. Then we want to replace password authentication no with password authentication
Yes,
yes
yes.
in configuration file. Then reload the service. Then we want to set the password for root user and the password will be space. A user will be added, admin, and the name, the password of admin user will be
Right.
admin, and his credentials will be added in the etc sudoers. So he'll also get the sudo permission.
Do the permission.
So let's just go next, next. Let's name it Ansible 1. Next, all traffic from my IP and then review and launch. So this time let's try to directly access it without changing the key based the parameter in the SSH and everything. Let's just
Right.
go to our system. If the script worked, we will be able to access. So let's ping first. System is not up right now. Okay, it's up. Then we want to do SSH on root at IP. Enter. Yes. It is asking, not asking for password. Okay.
Right. Because the script already ran.
No, but this if the script ran, then yeah, now it is asking. So before it didn't ask because the system was starting and the script didn't run at that time. Okay, so
Right, right, right.
now the script has been run on the system. If we give the password enter, we got access of our EC2 instance. So just like this, when you are deploying your instances, you can provide the key pair directly and store it in the authorized keys of that particular system. Okay. If it is on cloud, if it is your on-premise setup, in that case, if you are like using your private cloud infrastructure, then again you can use the scripting. But if you are using like servers one by one, then you need to do the key-based authentication on all the systems before doing the work with Ansible.
Okay.
Okay. Whereas when we do the work on routers, there we don't have to do the key-based authentication. For routers, we will store the parameters, store the password and everything in the inventory file only. Okay.
Okay. So that one doesn't need a key base.
Right.
So what about the password? Are you going to authenticate the device?
We need to write that password here.
That's not good.
Yeah, it is not good. I know. But we need to configure it. Like we need to configure SSH on the router and it will work with that. Like we
I mean,
can.
the routers will come with SSH already.
Hmm?
The router is supposed to come with SSH already.
Yeah, so they are supposed to, or they are like already available. Like, is it there or not, the SSH connection?
Yeah.
Like once if the SSH is already there, then you can directly provide the password of that particular router and the variables for that particular system. The variables will be like this. First, we need to tell the Ansible user. Let's say the Ansible user is admin. Then we need to provide the password of that user. So Ansible password. Let's say admin 12345. Then we need to tell the connection type. So Ansible connection. And that connection will be network CLI. After that, we need to provide Ansible network OS. So it will be iOS, Internet Working Operating System. And then finally the port on which Ansible is done, the SSH will be connected to the router. So it could be anything, whatever the network admin have defined on that. These will be the variables. So here we will use groups. Like let's say the group for router is named router. And these are the variables for that. So routers :vars.
Okay.
We'll do a practical later after once all the topics have been completed.
Okay.
Then we'll do this.
Okay.
Yeah, so for now, let's go back outside. And let's provide the IP address of this server as well after doing the key-based authentication. So Ansible, not Ansible, SSH copy ID on root at this IP. It has been added, and let's add this IP address in the host file, in the inventory file. So now we have two different hosts. If you want to create groups for these, let's say first one is under developer. The second one is under test. So we have created two different groups. Save the file now. And if we try to run any module Ansible -doc, not doc, Ansible space -m, module is ping, and you only want to run this module on the machine which is under test group. So write test here, the group name. We got it. If you want it to run on all the machines, you will be writing two machines are there and both of them are accessible. Okay. But in our live case scenarios, we will not be using the default configuration. Okay.
Right.
We
We'll
will
be
be
configuring our own.
right. So for that, you need to create a directory. Let's create it on slash and the directory name is tj. Change it to tj. Right now we don't have anything here. Here we need to create at least two things. First is the configuration file and another one is the inventory file. Okay. So let's create the inventory first. Vim and the inventory name I'm using is inventory. Okay. I'm going to create two groups, one for developer. Let's copy the IP. This one will be in developer. One for test. The other server will be in test. And if you want, you can also create nested groups here. Okay. Like if you want to run any particular module on both the groups, if you had three groups and you want to run it on two groups only. So you can create nested group like this, both colon children. So we are telling here that this both group have multiple children's here, multiple groups available in that, and those groups are
Dev and test.
test. Okay. So save the file. So the inventory file has been created. Next is we need to create the configuration file. And before creating that, if we run Ansible --version. So which configuration file it is using?
The rhce.
Yes. The main
rhce.
configuration.
So is that what we have to change it there?
No, we don't need to change it there. So what happens like whenever you are using Ansible command, what it does, it looks for the configuration in your current directory, first of all.
Okay, that means that was the question I was asking in the beginning, that the local one is overrides the rhce.
Okay. Yeah. So
that was the question. Yeah.
So it will first look for the configuration in the present directory. If it is not there, then it will go to the home directory of that user. If it is not there, then it will go to the main configuration.
Oh, I see. Regardless of even if there is configuration in the rhce, right?
Right.
Okay.
So first let's create the configuration. So ansible.cfg. Enter. And we need to provide default parameters first. So in square bracket defaults, then first is the inventory and the file that stores all the information regarding the manage host is available in either you can provide the path like this in .tj inventory, or you can provide the path like this /inventory. So / that means on current directory we have a file.
Inventory file. Got it.
Then second entry is the remote user, remote_user. For now we are using it as root. Then third is our ask pass parameter. So ask pass is false. Okay.
I mean, don't use password. Don't ask for password, man.
Correct. Right. So that's it. We can start with this with these configuration. Okay. Even if we have this much, it will work. So now save the file. And if you check the Ansible version again, See this time.
Wow. So it will change it automatically.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Changed automatically. If we go outside of this directory
Mm.
and try to check the configuration now.
Why? It goes back to it again.
Because now we don't have a ansible.cfg on our current location. We don't have ansible.cfg on the home location. So that's why it is going on the main configuration.
Okay.
So let's go to the directory in which configuration file is available. And if we do ansible-m ping on both. So we have created a group with the name both. Enter. Okay. So we can work like this.
Got it.
Okay, so for now,
So
let's
check the version is dash version, Ansible dash version.
yeah, Ansible space dash version.
Okay.
So for now, we'll stop it here today. So in the next session, we'll see how to use Ansible modules one by one. So some of the modules we'll try to use, and like this command that we used here, Ansible-m ping, and then whatever the host on which we want to run it. So when we are using a single module in our command, that command will be called an ad hoc command.
Say that one time. N ad hoc command.
Ad hoc.
Ad hoc command.
Right.
Okay, that means when we are using one what is it? What do you call it now? Module. When you are using the modules.
Only a single module on command line.
That's ad hoc commands. Okay.
Okay. So this is our mainly installation part of Ansible and how to access the configuration files.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
So if you are working on multiple projects, you will create multiple directories and multiple configurations.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we going to get to the Windows as well?
No, we will not be like doing it on Windows.
Windows, okay. What about routers, switches?
Yeah, on routers, we'll do it at the end of the sessions. We have routers on like Cisco, so we'll try to directly access them online and try to do the work on that. On sandbox.net, we have the routers.
Yes.
So let's copy the history for today. Okay, let's just copy this much first and add paste 52 to 60. Today's date is 10/02/2022. So, okay, so let's just stop it here for today. And
can you let me send the script that you're the one that you used to?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Let me save this one as well. and content. Upload from documents.
Do you have Git repository?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to save something there, like a code, but I just started. I just opened an account, but when I send it, try to commit to it and push, but it's not. It's giving me an error. It's not saving to the commit, so I don't know why. I thought maybe something you are used to.
Not sure about that bit actually. I haven't worked that much with Git right now.
Yes.
And let's remove these instances as well. We'll deploy new instances tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, there will be first. Okay, so let's continue tomorrow then.
All right. Thank you. See you
Okay.
tomorrow.
Yeah, bye bye.